Hi everyone. Super excited to be holding this space for anyone who is tuning in to this recording. Whew. And so, before we really jump in, I want to just take a minute to just really ground and open this space. So, I'm going to invite you and myself as well to just start moving our bodies, maybe if that feels good. Just getting comfortable, maybe taking some breaths, just coming to land in this moment, in this time, in this place, here and now. And as you breathe into your body, there's nothing else that you need to be doing other than just experiencing that breath, hearing it, feeling it, just being with it. And with this being, with our breath, we call ourselves present. We invite ourselves to land fully in the here and now. And so if it feels good, you can bring a little bit of movement to your body to really just solidify that you are choosing to occupy this moment, this space, to be present for this practice. And as you breathe here, becoming present, I'm going to invite in our angels, guides, and helping spirits. I'm going to invite in our divine teams, our individual divine teams, just circle around our personal boundaries, our collective divine teams, just circle around this quantum healing space. Just really inviting in our ancestors of the highest light and all of those non-physical allies and guides to really just hold this space for us, with us. And as they circle up, calling in divine energy, loving light, Reiki, unconditional love, to just start clearing this field and charging this field that we have stepped into, are stepping into, that we are creating, that we are co-creating, that is being held by our guides. So really just letting that space be activated as you begin to send some roots, some tendrils, some anchors down from the base of your body into the earth. Feeling as though those roots can commingle with the other roots around you if you wish. Feeling your roots spread across the planet, like grass, or dig deep into the earth like ancient oaks. Feeling your roots stretch deep and wide, feeling them intermingle with allies and kin. And just breathe here. Feeling this connection to earth, feeling this connection beneath you. And as you breathe out, just really feel this resonant field that we are creating. Feel the holding and allow yourself to release into the earth, into this field, to be composted and dissolved, anything that doesn't serve you in this moment right now. Just breathing here to receive a little bit and let go. Just coming to land, maybe becoming more aware of where your body makes contact. With the seat that is holding you, with the ground beneath you, with the clothes that adorn your body. Just becoming aware of your own personal boundaries here, your own edges, even as we activate this quantum field, just feeling your own material presence, your own material vessel, and allowing yourself to take up a little bit more space inside of your holy vessel, your body. Maybe feeling yourself land 10% more. Maybe feeling your breath deepen, maybe bringing that breath into your body. Maybe feeling the muscles in your face relax, the muscles of your neck Relax, maybe feeling your hands unclench, your toes relax and release. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then as you feel ready, begin to blink some light back into your eyes. Come present yourself in your physical space, looking around, reminding yourself where your body inhabits this physical earth plane. hmm And then as you feel ready, just bringing yourself back to the screen, or if you want to keep your eyes closed, that is also totally welcome here. All right. So when I was feeling into what this session was really gonna be around, I was thinking about pulling a card, and then it really dropped in that actually the book that I just finished last night is what we're going to anchor into. So, N.K. Jemisin, one of my most favorite authors, speculative fiction, science fiction, fantasy. She is a Black woman and she creates the most rich worlds. And the book that I just finished of hers is called The 100,000 Kingdoms. Um, and what I really want to presence in this space from this book is one of the main narratives from this story is that there's been a fracturing. So in this world, the origin story is that there were like three creator beings, three deities that created the world. And when we enter the story, two of those creator beings have kind of been either, you know, enslaved or killed. And so only one of the deities is still actively being worshipped and practicing. And this deity is like the god of light, the god of law and order, the god of like kind of like unchanging kind of steadiness. And it speaks perfectly to, I think, our world, our time, where we have very much kind of like uplifted this energy of order. We've seen light as the only good, and we tend to be really scared of evolution and change. And now, this isn't everyone. I'm speaking like kind of like on a big picture collective, right? Many of us who are listening to this probably don't resonate that with that because we have been coming back in to relationship with the Divine Mother and other sorts of divine energies. Oh, and for me, this book, the first time I read this book, it really reshaped how I related with the divine, how I related with God, because the two entities of this triad that have been erased and subjugated are that of the Night Lord, right? So all that is beautiful and terrible in the world, right? The wild chaos, darkness, change, evolution, transition, transformation, right? Ooh. So we've kind of lost that, right? That energy of shadow and night is often painted as like monstrous, bad, evil. But in this story, this retelling, we see that there's tenderness here. There's love in this chaos. There's love in this change energy and this wildness, right? And then the other energy is that divine like mother energy, right? That energy of twilight and dawn, that energy of the in-between, the gray to the black and white, right? Um the mother of life and death and rebirth, right? And so I invite all of us to just sit with a minute of like what have we lost by erasing um the divinity of wild chaos, change, everything that is terrible and beautiful and magnificent and frightening in this world, right? What do we lose out on? What have we lost out on when we forget about the gray, the in between, the transition? When we forget that death is a sacred part of life and that rebirth cannot happen if we do not have death, right? what happens when we forget the mother, right? And for many of us, it's like all we have to do is look around and see what happens after generations and generations forget this holy trinity, right? And then the other thing to feel into, because that makes me feel really constricted and sad and kind of like tight. But what opens up for us when we invite in like the sacredness of the Night Lord? When we invite in the sacredness of the dawn, of transition, of the mother, of death, of rebirth, right? What happens when we create space for all that is beautiful and terrible in this world instead of only focusing on the light, right? Like, what gets washed away when there's only brightness, right? What is there to be gained from darkness, from shadow, from winter, right? Ooh. And so I'll share that reading this book, The 100,000 Kingdoms, the first time I read it was like 10 years ago. It really opened up something for me. My energy much more feels like an offspring of like the kind of Night Lord and Divine Mother um, giving birth to life, right? I also will share that I was born on the new moon at like midnight, right? And so I feel, which, feels like would have been a very sacred day for, darkness. Anyways, I wonder if there's anyone else in this space listening to this that feels something open in them when they are reminded that divinity is all, right? Divinity isn't just the things that we deem good, the things that we deem right, the things that we deem lovable, right? Like divinity exists in all of it, right? Like, and I don't mean to um, justify people's actions or try to like, give people excuses. But what I am trying to say is that, again, like, what do we lose when we deny change? When we deny the little bit of chaos that might be necessary for change to happen, right? And so what do I mean by that? So there's some people in my life who are in the kind of beginning planning stages of moving from where they've lived pretty much forever to a completely different state. And this is like both scary, terrifying, right? And exciting, beautiful, right? And as they get towards the logistics of actually like packing up their life and putting it in a little box and then, or lots of little boxes, and then inside of a metal box on wheel, and then transferring that to the other place, right? Like there's gonna be a lot of chaos in the field, right? Like that just can't be helped when we unroot and then reroot somewhere, when we have this kind of big change, right? Like chaos is inevitable. And so, what happens when we stop relating with that chaos like it is bad and wrong and needs to be managed or fixed? And instead, we relate with that chaos um, like it is a normal part of life. Like we accept it as a part of life and then we dance with it, right? We dance in the chaos. We become nimble. We become resilient, right? Because that's part of the magic of this kind of Night Lord energy and this like All Mother energy, the life, death, rebirth energy, right? Is that we get to be so much more fluid and flexible when we get to rebirth ourselves over and over and over. When we get to change anytime we feel like we want to change. Like one of the like greatest like follies I feel like of our time is the idea that change is bad, right? Like have you ever had someone say to you like, "Oh, you've changed." As if like that's a bad thing, right? And like I've heard too in like some of the work that I do, right, where it's like, well, like sometimes when someone stays the same, like it feels safer because I can predict them. right? They feel predictable. I know what to expect for them. So even when they're a big asshole, like I know that they're going to be an asshole and I prepare for that, right? But it's harder to keep deep relationships sometimes with people who are ever evolving because you don't really know what to expect from them and you might start to evolve in different directions, right? Which is why, right, I don't want to poo-poo not changing, right? There is a sense of safety and security that comes with that kind of stability. And that's the beauty of the like bright Lord, right? Is this idea that like oh my God, yeah, there's such a comforting in the soul when there is, when I think of that stability, right? It's why moving can be so unsettling and why big change is so unsettling. So I invite all of you, again, right? Like you're watching this on the recording. So go ahead and pause if you want to kind of like reflect on this on your own, if you want to journal a little bit, if you want to drop into this, because this is kind of the theme I want to bring in to the healing, right? Is the power of the triad. Because again, so often in this world, we see things in binaries, right? It's like light or it's dark, it's day or it's night, it's good or it's bad. And we forget about all of the shades of gray. We forget about spring and fall. We forget about dawn and dusk and twilight, right? We forget about all of the stages and all of the gradient in between, right? And frankly, binary thinking creates a lot of like the warring that we're having right now, right? That binary thinking creates like a right and a wrong, a good and a bad, right? And if you think that you're right and the other person is wrong, how do you ever find common ground, right? And that's where like the triad's really powerful and leaning in to that kind of transitionary twilight energy, that like constant evolution energy can be really powerful. So let me see if there's anything else that wants to come through around this. Again, if you're watching the recording, you can pause and journal a little bit here if that feels good. No, so I'm just going to lead us in a little healing to come back into relationship with the divine darkness, right? Like the divine chaos, and to come back into relationship with the divine mother and really the that essence of the life, death, rebirth, right? Not just what we think of as like woman or feminine, right? But like that energy of life, death, and rebirth. Because again, like when I think of, anyone who has a womb, you the womb cycles through this life, death, rebirth cycle every single month, right? Every time that we are shedding, right? It's like that death cycle, like creating space. Whew, and then we, rebuild that and we ovulate, right? And there's space for this potential of like new life, rebirth, right? And so it's part of the reason why, the feminine codes hold that medicine of life, death, and rebirth. That's one of the biggest um like anchors of divine feminine wisdom is the cyclical nature of life, right? Like coming back in to the circle. And frankly, for our times right now, it is so important that we are anchoring in to the cycle of life and remembering that like it's not just going to end and then it's like that's it, falling off a cliff, we're done. It's like yeah, some things are going to end and some things are going to begin. So, what do we want to begin? What are we building to replace the things that are dying? What are we creating in the place? What do we want instead? What would we prefer? Right? Because for a lot of folks, right, like this idea of just like a linear timeline where it's like, oh, everything just ends. It's a really good cop out, like a really nice way to just like release ourselves of responsibility and say, oh, it's ending anyway. I guess I can't do anything. Instead of remembering that, like, we chose to incarnate at this particular time on the wheel for a reason because we wanted to experience it. We had something to contribute. I don't know. That's up to each of us to investigate and find out, right? But I know frankly, I'm kind of tired of people being like, "What can you do?" It's like we're actually quite powerful. We actually um are quite powerful. Yeah. So let's tap into that power right now. The power for us to be able to um heal and connect in with this magic. So I'm going to invite you to just get really comfortable now. I am actually, as you start to get, before you get too comfortable, I am going to go ahead and change the original or change the sound. And I'm just going to do, you know, all of the different sounds so that you aren't going to be startled by what you might hear during the sound healing. And so that you can adjust your volume so that it feels good for you. Because if you're wearing headphones, it might be really loud. So we're going to have some singing bowls. Okay, so we have those singing bowls. And then I also have this little rattle. Okay. So we have the rattle. I also have this jaw harp. Okay, we got the jaw harp. And then I also have this drum. Yeah. And then actually I have one more thing that I see right here. I have these little chimes here, okay? Okay. So I just wanted to share with you all of the different instruments and sounds that I might use so that there's no surprises and you're not startled. I might also do a little bit of this. Might break into spontaneous sound, singing. We'll see. But okay, so now I invite you to go ahead and get really comfortable. This is probably going to last about 25 minutes or so. And then I'll ground us and close us out. Okay. So, inviting you to really get comfortable here. Really feeling in to the energy of the triangle. Maybe imagining that a giant triangle is outlining your body or that you are inside of a giant pyramid. Feeling the strength of that shape, the stability of that shape. And as you breathe here, I'll invite you to invite in this energy of nighttime, sacred nighttime, sacred darkness, change and chaos. Imagining that it's occupying one of those corners of that triangle. And then invite in that sacred light. All things orderly, stable, and light, that sacred daytime. Feeling it inhabit another one of those corners. Breathing here, just feeling yourself coming into relationship with these divine forces, just feeling your body attuned to them, feeling, noticing, sensing the way that they interact with each other. And then we'll invite in that energy of twilight, the dusk, the dawn, life, death, rebirth, All Mother. Feeling that sacred twilight embody one of those corners. And from this space, just breathe. You're doing so well. Oh, yeah. Just breathe. Feeling yourself held by this divine trio. Feeling yourself reattune to these sacred frequencies. Observing how the frequencies of night, day, and twilight are all part of the same whole. Held by these three energies here, I'll invite you to reconnect in with those roots of yours, those anchors, those tendrils that are buried in the earth. And just begin to breathe in and out, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to release. Just feeling yourself anchored here, connected in to planet Earth as you are held by the sacred triad of twilight, day, and night. You can imagine that your guides are here, working with this sacred energy to just help rewire you, bring you back into balance, reconnect you with this sacred trinity, this ancient divine life force energy, this balanced energy, all three in harmony, working together. Yeah, and I'm going to rattle a bit here. And as I do, imagine that anything that's not in congruency, anything that's not congruent with this balanced triad is just being removed. Any judgment that you have of one part of this trinity is dissolving. Any fear that you have of a part of this triad is transmuting itself into reverence and awe. Any blocks that you may have to working with any part of this trinity are starting to dissolve. Bridges are being built between the chasms, between the distance. Yeah. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to change. There's nothing else you need to be. You are perfect just as you are. And these divine frequencies have always been dormant within you, have always been alive within you. And if they were dormant, they're coming back online, coming back online, activating, activating, activating. And if there's any pain in your body, just allowing these divine beings to wash an energy of peace over you, so that you can be at peace with this embodied experience, so that you can be at peace with this experience of a body. And I'm really getting the sense here that this triad, this triangle that is surrounding us, holding us in a field of loving light, is really doing the medicine on us, is really doing the work on us. It's refrequencing us. It's frequencing. We are beings of frequency, and now our frequency can shine, radiate, vibrate more true, more in harmony, more in tune, more in balance, because it's resonating with its 3 chords instead of 1. We have 3 strings of frequency now instead of just 1. Feel into how much more is available for you here with 3 instead of 1. With 3 instead of 2. Let the frequency beings, the divine frequency of sacred day, sacred night, sacred twilight, begin to continue to really work on you here. Oh, yeah. I want you to imagine now that you're seated inside of this sacred triangle. And the triangle transforms into a pyramid as the 3 energies coalesce right above your crown into this sacred divine union of day, night, and twilight. And as you breathe here, seated inside of this sacred pyramid, the sacred temple that is activated with this Trinity, that light begins to shine down your central spinal column. And as it shines down your central spinal column, a light radiates down your column. And this light is a braid of the 3 energies: light, dark, gray, white, dark, and gray. Ooh, light, night, twilight. All 3 of those energies braided together, sacred, sacred, creating this sacred column, this sacred spinal column, this sacred column of light within you. And I invite you to breathe here into this divine trinity that is you, that is all of creation. Letting that energy anchor into the earth, letting that energy, anchor into the earth. Represencing this divine trinity, represencing this sacred harmony, really filling our planet and collective field with this divine union of light, dark, and gray, day, night, and twilight, order, chaos, life, death, rebirth, all held in sacred union, nothing placed above or below the other, all respected, all revered. Breathe in to your central spinal column here, feeling the power of this trinity. And let that power begin to radiate out until your entire body is held in a column of light. Breathing here, feeling yourself held, feeling yourself held, feeling yourself held. And if you wish, you can imagine that this column of light expands so that it holds your entire house, your entire community, your entire nation, the entire planet. Feeling this holding, this sacred light holding us all. This weaving of darkness, twilight, and daytime. The coalescing of all of these energies to create a protective force so fierce and so loving that no one is forgotten, that no one is left behind. Such fierce protection that everyone and everything is safe. Such beautiful harmony that all the colors radiate brighter and all the tastes are more profound. And life is just more enjoyable. Yeah. Then bringing yourself back to your physical body here. Feeling yourself still held by this sacred energy. And I can sense that one of these divine forces, the Night Lord, the Day Lord, the Mother of us all, wants to commune with you now. And maybe it's more than one of them, but regardless, if you are willing, say so, and feel them step forward, take up more space, presence themselves to you now. And I'll just let you receive whatever message, whatever felt sensation, whatever imprint they want to share with you. Just really opening yourself to receive here. No forcing, just allowing. Take another moment here to just be in the presence of the divine being that stepped forward to commune with you now. Thanking them, knowing you can always connect back in with them. You can always come back to this practice. Feeling that energy balance back out now so that all three sacred triad are equal in their vibrancy. Just take a few more breaths here, just really receiving the medicine of these three working as one, of the three harmonizing. And imagine once again that light at the tip of the pyramid, the combination, the sacred union of all three of these divine energies. Feeling that energy as if it is floating above your head or your heart. Feeling that union just rain down on you, radiate down on you. Dissolving the conflict within the inner conflict, dissolving those parts of yourself that might have been at war with each other, and really creating a sense of peace and ease around the diversity of energy, frequency, and form that creates us. All right, so I'm just going to drum a little bit to really anchor this experience in. Oops, sorry, friends. Just taking a breath here. Being really slow with your body here. Not having to rush at all. But just starting to present yourself once again. Maybe start to bring a little subtle movement, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Maybe bring a gentle touch to your body. Just maybe rubbing your thighs, your arms, your heart space. Sending gratitude out to all of our divine loved ones that were supporting us for this healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And really just starting to call all of yourself back into your body now. If you want, you can imagine that you're retracting your roots back up, up, up into your body. We're not making ourselves smaller here. We're just condensing ourselves back into form. Yeah. Ooh, and if you wish, you can use this practice of setting that triangle and feeling these three energies when you do future meditations and when you do future practices. But for now, I'm going to thank this Divine Trinity. Thank you, Night Lord. Thank you, Day Lord. Thank you, Mother of us all. Ooh, releasing that sacred triangle. Yeah. Just letting yourself kind of shake that off. Knowing that you can always call forth that energy again. Set that field around yourself and really reattune to that frequency or be held by that divine energy. I want to remind everyone that the healing that we just did was actually really big. Those three forces were doing a lot. Working on you, working on your system, working on your ancestry, working on your body, working on your energy. So you might feel a little bit of like tiredness after this. You might feel like more tired. That's normal. Like let yourself sleep. They're saying that this practice is going to integrate over the next 3 sleep cycles. So this practice is going to continue to work on you then for the next 3 sleep cycles. Yeah. So they say like, don't worry about it like during the day, go about your day, but with your permission, right? Like as you sleep, this field of their divine trinity, right? The sacred night, sacred day, sacred twilight, is going to work on you. It seems really important right now for more of us to refrequence to this divine harmony. There's a lot of division in the field. There's a lot of either or thinking in the field. There's a lot of us or them thinking in the field right now. And we really, there's more options for us. There's more than 2 sides to any narrative. And anchoring into this sacred trinity, coming back into sacred relationship with the divine forces of chaos, with all that's beautiful and terrible, in addition to the divine forces of structure and logic, right? And the divine forces of death, rebirth, life, that whole cycle of life, right? It's really important for all of us to be anchoring in, to this trinity. So, yeah, I feel pretty blissed out from that. Their energies are really strong and really powerful. I feel them really strongly. I'd love to hear how this lands for folks. So leave a comment. Let me know how this was. Let me know what came up for you. It's always more fun to do this in community because we see the synchronicities. We see that, we're not the only one out here, right? So, let me know how this lands. And just to close this space here, just really inviting all of us to call back everything that's ours and release everything that's not ours into the earth. Calling back everything that is ours that still holds promise for us. Releasing anything that's not ours into the earth. Feeling this sacred container that we opened, thanking, start to close, thanking all of our angels, guides, and helping spirits who help to hold this field, sending so much gratitude to all of you, asking that this field be closed in the most best, healthy, sacred way. Asking that we move forward only with that serves our highest good, leaving all the rest. And the space is closed. All right, my friends. So as I said, please feel free to share how this landed for you. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.